Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is the continuity of the previous videos, which is on the topic number 3, steel in construction part 2. Okay, this lecture is presenting by Haslin Idayu Amaruddin. Okay, let's look into the learning outcome. So at the end, you should be able to understand each type and categories of steel. And then you need to understand the fastening products in steel, identify the properties of the steel, advantages and disadvantages of steel, and also the steel protecting measures. For steel product, we have two categories of steel product, which is hot roll products and cold rolling products. For hot roll, we have roll and form section, compound section, and also build section. Okay, so let's look into this product one by one. For hot roll products, we have roll and form section, which is for the steel heated to temperature about 1200 degrees and make them soft enough to deform into shape. For example, for roll and form section is universal beam, channel, hollow section, universal column, angle, and T. So the other type of hot roll product is the compound section, which is we combine two separated roll section into one. It can be, for example, universal beam with cover plate, two angle welded together, or two channel or welded together. Okay, the compound section. The other type is build up section, when we welding plates together to form I section, H section, or box member. So basically it used to carry heavy load and also for long span. Okay, so this is for the first product is roll and form section. This section are produced in steel mill from steel billet by passing through a series of rolling. Okay, so example of this roll and form section is universal beam and column, channel, and so on. Okay, so this is an example of universal beam. Very efficient for resisting bending moment, about measure at 6. Okay, so the shape is, normally we call as I beam, since the shape is I. The other one is universal collar, which is to resist axial load with high radius of gyration, and also to prevent buckling about the plate. Okay, for universal column, the shape is actually similar to the beam, the I shape, but it's just that the flange here is longer as compared to universal beam. And normally we put it in vertical ways. Okay, and we also have a hot roll channel, hollow section, and also angle and T. Okay, the second type is compound section, which we combining separate roll section to become one. Basically, the purpose of the compound section is to strengthening the section by welding a cover plate, for example. For this one, we need to increase the strength capacity at the bottom flange, then we add cover plate at the bottom. Okay, so some example of compound section. This one is universal beam covered with cover plate. So this one, I beam, on top of it we have cover plate. And this one is two channels are welded together. We weld two channels together to form more high strength members. Okay, another one is build up section. Build up section is made by welding plates together to form the shape of I, H, or box member. And normally it used to carry heavy load. For example, here we have one plate, two plate, and three plate, and we weld together to form an I shape beam. Okay, some example of build-up section. Okay, second type of steel product is cold form products. It has many grades, but steel stud manufacturer recognize two type of grade, which is 33 and 55 psi. For cold form, result in plastic deformation, cause strain hardening that increase the yield strength and ultimate strength of the steel. However, it reduces the ductility of the members. The cold forming increase about 50 to 70% of the strength, but reduce the ductility. So that's why normally for cold form products we use for lightweight structure only. Okay, so for cold form steel sheet, normally we use for purlins or sheeting rails. This is some example. The thin steel plate can be formed into a wide range of section by cold rolling. Okay, just reshape it, the plate. Okay, so let's move on to the fastening product. These are some example of the fastening products for steel. For example, we have bolts, nut, washer, anchor, thread, and so on. So in connection, there are three principal systems for connecting members. In steel construction, we need to connect the members so that to build a structure. So the three principles is the bolting, riveting, and also welding. The connection is necessary for the members to join the members together. For example, in trusses or lattice girder, or we need to use to join the plates together to form a build-up member. And also we need to connect between the beam and also beam to truss, beam to column to form a solid structure. And also the continuity of the structure. Okay, the first method is bolting. We have ordinary bolt and also high strength friction bolt. For ordinary bolt, it consists of hexagon head bolt, nut, and also washer. And in terms of forces, is taken by share of bolt body. The second one is the high strength friction grip bolt. For high strength friction is made from high strength steel, and then with clamping force, we transmit the force to the connected members by friction. For high strength friction, the surface in contact must be free from the rusting. Okay, the second categories is riveting. There are several common methods of technique for performing riveting operation. The standard one is a hand riveting, which is bucking bar or blind rivet. The three basic alternative methods of riveting are cold riveting, hot riveting, or automated riveting. And each method will achieve different characteristics of the bonding. Okay, so this one is buckling and blind rivets. Okay. And also we have cold riveting process, which is we rivet the rivet are kept in refrigerator until it's ready to be used, and then we driven it while it's still cold. So the rivet remains soft and more malleable, and it will cure in room temperature and become hardened. And also we have hot riveting process. Rivet will be at room temperature before use, and then we need to be heated, and we driven it while it is still hot. When it cools again, it returns to the hardened state of the rivet. And also we have automated riveting process. This process is basically cheaper, but it required longer time to set up. and also is limited to one rivet type only. Okay, the third connection process is using welding, which is the process of jointing metal pipes by fusing them and filling with molten metal from electrode. Extensively used to join parts and members, cleat, stiffener, end plate, and also to fabricate complete elements such as plate girder. And for welding, it produces neat and strong joint as compared to bolting. So we have two types of welding, which is butt welding and also fillet welding. The size of fillets is specified depends on the length of the leg, and also the strength of weld is based on the throat thickness. Okay, so some example of butt welds and also fillet welds. Basically for butt welds, when we combine two elements horizontally, okay, then we use butt weld. For fillet weld, we use when we have two different angles, we need to combine two members with different angles, so then we need to use fillet welds. And the other type of the function of steel is to reinforcing the concrete. So the steel is using as reinforcement bar inside concrete. For example, for conventional reinforcement steel, we are using plain bar or deformed bar, and also plain and deformed wire fabrics. The bars are made of 4 types of steel. Okay, so and then we have steel for pre-stressed concrete. This one is just ordinary concrete, and this one is for pre-stressed concrete, where we require special wire or cables, and it must have high strength and low relaxation properties, and we make it from high carbon steel and high strength alloy steel. This is some example of ASTM standard name our reinforcement bar. For example, for grade 40, they have a letter and symbol, the bar size, also the type of steel, whether it is high strength or mild steel, and so on. And for reinforcement bar, the steel must have groove, so that the bonding between steel and concrete is strengthened. For two types of bar used in reinforced concrete is hot roll mild steel or hot roll yield steel. Okay, so the strength is about 250 for mild steel, and also 460 to 500 for high yield steel. Mild steel in the form of smooth round bar and high yield bar are produced in deformed bar. Okay, so other steel products include pre-stressing steel, stainless steel, and also weathering steel. For pre-stressing, or what we call as standard, are produced in the form of wires or strand, and the steel for pre-stressing material may be made by any process except the air emits air oxygen blown process. Normally pre-stressing are used in construction of bridges, building, stadiums, and others. Okay, wire, strand, and bar for pre-stressing. So we have wires made based on BHS standard, which is cold drawn with high carbon content. Okay, and then strand, which is we have 7 wire, we spin 6 cold drawn wires in helical form, and then we relieve the stress. And also bar is pre-stressing bar. Okay, the other type is stainless steel, which is the SST is defined as iron carbon alloy with minimum chromium content. The name originates from the fact that stainless steel does not stain, corrode, or rust easily as ordinary steel. This material is also called as corrosion resistant steel. And we also have weathering steel, the type of steel that develop a protective oxide coat on its surface upon exposure to the element, so that for weathering steel we not required to painting the steel structure, and it able to protect the steel against atmospheric corrosion. So basically we use it for bridges and also for building and decorative effects. Okay, so let's look some of the advantages of the steel. Steel is basically have 5 main advantages. The first one is the high strength. The high strength of steel per unit weight means that the weight of structure will be small with higher strength. So this fact is important for when we are going to provide a long span, tall building and on the poor foundation. So we need high strength materials, and we can use steel. And also the advantages of steel is in terms of the uniformity of the material. The properties of the steel do not change with time as compared to the reinforced concrete structure. And also steel is elastic. It behaves closer to the design assumption than the other, as compared to the other materials. And also the steel is ductility, which means that the property of the material, it can withstand extensive deformation without fail under high tensile stress. That is what we call as ductility. When a mild or low carbon structure steel member is being tested in tension, the reduction in cross section and a large amount of elongation will occur at the point of failure because the actual fracture occurs. Okay, so basically for low or mild carbon steel, it is a brittle material which is not that tight. And also the steel is in terms of the toughness. Structured steel are very tough, which is they have both strength and also ductility. It can have large deformation, which is will able to withstand large forces. The steel member can be subjected to large deformation during fabrication and erection without fracture, and thus is allow them to be bent, to hammer, shear or hole to be punched in them without visible damage. That is the main properties of the steel that we are going to look into when we are using steel as construction material. So other advantages of steel is the ability to be fastened together for simple connection, and it can be prefabrication, speed of erection, it can be a wide variety of size and shape, it has fatigue strength, and also possibility to be reused as recycled material. These advantages of steel. So there are some advantages of steel. The first one is the maintenance cost, because steel is subjected to corrosion due to exposed on weather. So that's why we are required to paint the steel periodically. To eliminate this maintenance cost, sometimes we are using weathering steel. However, it can be expensive. And also fireproofing costs. Although structure members are incombustible, their strength is reduced at temperature commonly reaches in fires. As a result, the steel frame must be protected by material in certain insulating characteristics. For example, sprinkler system, and to meet the building code requirement is on locality. And also brittle fracture. Under certain conditions, steel may lose its ductility and become brittle at certain place. Fatigue type loading are very low temperature aggregate the situation. For example, the failure due to fatigue at very low temperature, then steel become brittle. Fatigue, another undesirable property of steel, that is the strength may be reduced when subjected to a large number of stress reversal. Means fatigue means when we repeatedly apply load, repeat and remove the load. Which is some kind of cycle loading. Okay. Alright, so let's look on some properties of the steel. The first one, the brittle fracture properties. Steel is ductile at above the temperature about 10 degrees and above, but become brittle at the temperatures low temperatures. And when the steel properties, where you are looking into the stress-strain relationship in structural steel, which is you have the elastic element and then you have plastic element before it start to break. The other type of properties that we need to look into is the corrosion of the steel. For example, for exposed steel wood may affected by corrosion in the atmosphere if pollutants are present, so we need to do surface protection of the steel, and also due to water soluble, which is can accelerate the corrosion process, especially when we have water that contain chloride and also sulfur. Okay, so to protection of steel, so we have since steel is subjected to corrosion, so that's why we need to put some protection. The type of protection depends on the surface condition and also the length of the life required. There are main type of protective coating, which is the metal coating, plastic coating, and also painting. For metal coating, we have metallic coating, zinc coating, which is we spray coating outside of the our steel. And the method of application of metal coating include electroplating, which is the metal which is plate form, the cathode in above, and then metal is deposited on it either from reactive anode or from the electrolyte. Or we can use as cladding, hot roll bonding with corrosion resistant alloy cladding. That's what we call as cladding. And then we can spray zinc or aluminium in wire or powder form. Is heated by the electric or gas, then atomized metal is sprayed by using compressed air and also using hot dipping. After pickling in acid, drying and preheating, the object is dipped into molten zinc, which form an alloy layer outside of the steel. Okay, the second method is plastic coating. We can use steel sheet or strip can be surfaced with PVC or acrylic epoxide and phenolic coating, which is applied as liquid or laminate to cover the steel. This product can be pressed and otherwise fabricated without damage to the coating. And the last one is painting. The common one is painting because it's cheaper. We are using a primer, zinc chromate followed by finishing coat with iron oxide. In special case, we also use plastic paint and also bituminous paint to prevent corrosion. Okay, that's all for today's topic, which is on the steel. Okay, so thank you very much.